Hey guys, it's Alison. I miss you all so much. But I finally came up with a craft. I know how much you guys love to use alcohol inks. Unfortunately, I'm sure you guys don't have them at home. So I thought we could use Sharpies, which we've done before. So on the list I gave you, I have a cup for alcohol, Q-tips, various color Sharpies, a straw, rubber band, a cutting board or something. I just took a cutting board and covered it with saran wrap so I don't go through it. You can use another kind of board. You can use a baking sheet. It depends what size your t-shirt is. Unfortunately, I could only find one of my son's t-shirts because it has to be 100% cotton. You can use a pillowcase or whatever you have. If you have a light colored t-shirt, the one thing that's important is that it's 100% cotton. So there's a few ways to do this. I thought I practiced some, and I'll show you a t-shirt that I made earlier. I don't know if you can zoom in, but I'll come closer. Some of it was just practice. This is supposed to be a jellyfish. The legs didn't come out perfect, but this is just different ways to do the same thing. I actually personally like these the best, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's get going. So first step is I'm going to take this t-shirt and slide the board underneath, in between actually, the front and the back. And it's very important, whatever area you're working, to make sure it's secure, as tight as you can. So when you're using the pens, it would be spread as much as possible. So I'm just kind of tightening this around. If you have a smaller t-shirt, it will fit much easier and tighter. So here I go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to decide to do a design, I think, around the collar first. And I'll show you, easily what, and you could do any colors you want. I am going to start with purple and pink. Alona, if you're on this, I know how much you love pink. Jamie too, purple. Okay, so I'm going to come closer because I don't know you can see this. All I'm going to do, take the caps off both. I'm going to start with the pink. And all I'm doing is making a center. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just doing a little round pink center. Then I'm going to do, I think I'll do a little smaller. See, I'm just doing dots. Just little dots. As you can see, mine's not perfect, but it's good enough. I'm going to take the purple, and I'm just going to do little dots around. I'm going to keep them pretty small. When you add the alcohol, it's going to spread a lot. So I'm just making little dots. I hope you can see this good. Little dots. Skip one, but for no good reason. Dots. Now mine are pretty big, so it might bleed a little, but you can actually do smaller circles as well. And I'm just going to continue. And you can use, like I said, any color you want. You don't have to do the shape. I like the circles because when you add the alcohol, you'll see the effect. And I like that. Katie, if you're watching, I know you like things to be perfectly matching, or I forgot the word, but identical. So here we go. Just making little dots. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. Now I'm going to go back over here. I hope you guys can zoom. I'm new at this, so I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to close back our caps. Oops. And now for the fun part. So I'm going to pour a little bit of alcohol. And by the way, if you don't have Sharpies, if you don't have alcohol, you can use watercolors. It will wash out in the wash, but you could still have fun and play. So now I am going to take, there's two ways to do this. I think the easiest way is to take the Q-tip. And all I'm doing is dipping it good into this alcohol, and I'm literally just gonna hold it in the center. Now, as you do that, the alcohol is gonna spread the ink and make this cool design. The more you add to the same place, just take alcohol, dip it again. It's gonna spread further. So I don't know if you hopefully can see this good. As I held the alcohol, now it's spread my little flower to that. So depending on what you want, depending what you're using or how big the circle is, another way to do it is take a straw. With these little flowers, I wouldn't do the straw, but I'll try it. You can take a straw, dip it into the alcohol, and just boom, let go. Now, that's going to spread much further. So some of you like that. And you can imagine doing this all over the shirt. So, you know what? Now that I did it, maybe I'll do every other one with the straw. So I'm just going to, let me get the alcohol. I'm just going to, again, I didn't get the alcohol. You have to stick it in and put your finger on top. There we go. So now I got another one that's spread pretty wide. It really keeps spreading. So I'm gonna do every other one, like I said. Boop. Very cool. There we go. Now you can always add more alcohol if you want to spread it bigger. So now I'm going to go back to using a Q-tip and do the other ones. I want these to be a little smaller. So I'm just simply holding the Q-tip down with the alcohol. See? Do another one. Just holding it right in the center. Go, holding it. Do the last one. I'm pretty happy with that. This is what I got so far. So now you get the idea, but you can do anything you want. Another idea, it might be easier for some of you to do it this way. You can find a jar, any size circle, but it has to be a flat surface. So I just found this old garlic jar. You can use a glass or anything that has a flat bottom. Another way to make the fabric taut, so let's see, maybe I'll do a nice big one right in the center. So I'm going to take a rubber band. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take the jar, try to do it in the middle, and I'm going to take the rubber band, put it right around the lid, because I want this as taut as possible so the fabric doesn't move. So I'm going to wrap the rubber band a couple of times around this jar. So I got one, I got two. Okay, so I'm just going to pull the fabric out. Let's see. I'll try to move this a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's see if this works. Okay, I hope you can see this better now. Okay, so I just put the rubber band twice, so it's very tight around what I think is the center. Hopefully it is. It doesn't matter. It could be anywhere you want. Another little thing I did before, let's see. I'm going to try to stick somewhat to the colors, but let me bring in some green. So I have green and, I don't know, orange. I'm going to make a butterfly. Anyway, so let's see. I'm just going to use the green, make a little head. Again, nobody's perfect. Making a little head. And then I'm going to take the orange and make little wings. Again, not so perfect, but it's okay. And make the body in the middle. Color that in. Little antennas. Like that. And you know what? I'm going to be fancy and put a little design. I'm going to color the middle part in orange. And let's see. To tie it into the top, I'm going to bring some purple in. I'm going to color the rest in with purple. Again, this could be whatever colors you want. It could be something else. You could do a baseball. You could do an ant. I don't know, whatever you feel like drawing. So I'm just filling in right now. Got it pretty good. So now I'm going to use the dropper with the straw. If you have an eyedropper, that's what you're supposed to use. I don't have one in my house. So let's see. Again, I'm going to take my straw. I'm going to put it down in and just Ooh, it's starting to spread. You really try to keep it in the center of the alcohol because it'll just spread out more evenly. If it doesn't, you can just add it wherever you want. And you want to let it spread so it fills up the circle. There you go. Well, after all that, it doesn't look like that much of like a butterfly. There's the light. There we go. Let me turn this around. Well, it's still kind of like a butterfly. It's not supposed to be exact. You could do anything you want. Once everything finishes spreading, you can just pull and pop the rubber band off. Having more trouble. I don't want to ruin it. Here we go. Not so easy. Okay. Well, this is live video. You'll see that it's not exactly perfect. Got some stains on here. Maybe if we use lighter colors, it will come out better. So I have some smudges around. I still like it though, if you ask me. Maybe if I turn this whole thing around, it'll be easier for you guys to see. Okay. So obviously there's a million things you could do. Now that I smudged it by getting the rubber band off a little messy, maybe I'll just fill in the outside of this and make it look like it's supposed to be like that. So let's try something else. I'm just going to take some colors and start doing some lines. I think I'm going to vary the colors just for fun. Kind of like a sun. My screen's getting dark. I don't know if yours is. Just keep adding whatever colors you want. Since I have a little pattern, I might as well continue it. Let's see. Purple. Orange. Green. I don't know if we're going to fix this, but we'll try. Green. Purple. Orange. Let's see, I have room for 2 colors. Let's hope this works. Orange. Green. Maybe I'll make it some green. Green, purple, Can't be perfect, so I'm just gonna play around with these two colors for the last bit. And you can do it bigger if you want. I'm trying to get rid of these stains, so I'm just gonna make it up as I go along. Make this whole thing a little bigger. It's down a little bit. Just play. If you want a specific pattern, you could do that. Okay. Now, I think that's probably enough. Now let's do the fun part. So, I'm thinking I'm just going to play around with the straw and see what happens, but I want it close to the edge. So I'm just going to start kind of dropping. You want to wait after the first drop just to see how far it spreads. So you kind of have a guideline. See that? And then just start dropping. Got there, 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 there. Let's see. Keep adding as much alcohol as you want until you get the effect you want. I kind of like this now. I made it really big to cover up my mistakes, but maybe you don't try that thing with the rubber band because maybe it's just too hard. Unless you let it dry all the way before you take the rubber band off. I like the way that came out. You can see. Although I see one side is a lot more going on than the other, so I think what I'm going to do is add some more purple. Ooh. Where's my purple pen? I think I'm going to add some more purple here, just to get it a little more symmetrical. And a little more alcohol. All right, I think that looks good. Put the caps on when you're not using it. I already ruined a shirt this morning. And that's what I got. Maybe I'll use a little more orange too to add that. So you can continue this. You can do these all over the shirt. You can just take, if you look at this one I made earlier, if you see this one I just did, well, let me do one for you. I'll use this shirt since I already started working on it. I'm going to plop this one off carefully off my plastic covered cutting board. Ooh. I don't want to stain this, so I'm going to carefully take it off. So the way you, by the way, I will have it all in writing, but you're going to let this dry all the way. You can use a hot iron when this, let the alcohol dry. You're going to either use a hot iron or throw it in the hot dryer for like 10 minutes to set it. Then you should be able to wash and dry it, no problem. I see I got a little mistake on the sleeve. It's okay, I'll fix it up later. Let me put this down to dry. I'm actually going to hanger so I don't have it stay in the back. And just let this dry someplace. Okay, so you reposition my saran wrap a little. And I'm going to slide this shirt back on. Okay. So I'm going to try to recreate this one that I did. All I did was, let's pick, let's say 5 or 6 colors. I did pink, bright, I have orange, pink, bright green, purple, and let me try, I'm going to use brown. I haven't used that yet. And I'm just going to make little, again, little circles, but kind of try to hold it tight across. If mom and dad could get the t-shirt to be like banded on with something or anything to make it tight, that would be good. So anyway, I'm just going to put a dot of each, not touching, but near each other. Pink. Start out dotting it. It's actually easier to make the circle. And then fill it in. And let's take the orange. And, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to use brown. I'm going to use this lavender color. Put it right here. Actually, let me add one more color to make it a full little circle with the green in the middle. I'm going to pick like this lipstick red. Put it right here. Actually more orangey, but okay. You can put this closer together if you want. Actually, at the same time, I'm actually going to do it with smaller little dots and see what happens. So we see like what one looks compared to the next. Here's my green. And let's see, I'll do pink over here. Are they too green? Anyway, close enough. So with the little one, I'm going to take a Q-tip and just stick it right in the center. Let's see what happens. Add some more. So you got kind of that. I'll add a little more right here. Kind of missed the fifth wheel. So we got like kind of like a little pinwheel. You could always add more alcohol if you want to spread more. You can dot it on the outside. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, now this one's a little bigger, so I think I'm gonna have to use the straw. Take some alcohol and dump it right up. It's supposed to be in the middle. There we go. Let's see how far it spreads on its own before I continue. To make it bigger, put some alcohol around the edges. Now I'm not loving that, so I'm just gonna play around. Again, you could do anything you want. But I'm gonna try to just, again, I'm gonna do something like just random highlights, just to create a more solid design. Fill in. We could add more dots. I mean, just be creative. You guys are great at that. I'm actually going to create a bunch of dots just to see what it looks like. And play around. So really you could do anything you want. These in the center, these were simply with dots. So I'll show you that too. Let's see. Try some colors I never used. About, I don't know, a mint green and a peach. So, I'm just going to start by making dots in the center. Actually, I'll do another row. So see, it's just close together dots. I'm going to add peach. And I'm going to take a Q-tip, stick it right in the middle. You see how it's spreading? Just going to keep adding right to the middle. More. The more you add to the middle, it's going to go out to the edges. See? So you can create any, I'm going to add some to the outside. You're going to create anything you want. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And I think you can have fun playing with this in many different ways. You can, like I said, take an old pillowcase, anything you want. I love the way these came out earlier. I think I was showing you when I started. This was just with the dots, like I just showed you, and just putting the alcohol right in the middle. And that's going to give you a more of a circle like that. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget, let it dry all the way. And then you have to heat set it. So you could take an iron to it or throw it in the dryer for 10 minutes. And you're all set to go. Bye, guys.